What's up guys, Rick Kackis here. Thank you so much for stopping by, and today we are going to be going over the best things to be using if you want to participate in the currently ongoing Destiny 2 Community Challenge. I know this isn't the flashiest video, heck, it doesn't even have a Vex Mythic Glass in the thumbnail. I forgot to do a fake silver challenge. Oh my goodness, I forgot my like goal. This video is going to do terrible, but I hope that some people will find this useful because it's been a very long time since Warmind actually hit the game, and a lot of people have joined since then. A lot of people haven't even done Escalation Protocol, don't know what's good, don't know the strategies, and so hopefully this video can assist them. So the community event is starting today, September 3rd, and it goes till next reset at September 10th. Once it's done, this community event is finished. Now, if the community reaches the following goals, then everyone will get some rewards. In fact, the entire community will get rewards in the future. I'll talk about that in a sec. But firstly, you have to defeat 175,000 Wave 7 Escalation Protocol bosses, defeat 300 million total Hive on Mars, and for the Mars Nightfalls, defeat Nokris 150,000 times, and defeat Zol 100,000 times, and use 300,000 override frequencies. So the main thing there is the Nightfalls and the Wave 7 Escalation Protocol bosses. If we do reach this, and you participated in at least one Nightfall, so you have to do one of those two Nightfalls this week, then you're going to get this exclusive emblem, and also Callus is going to start offering more Menagerie loot, so like additional rewards every week. So if you're still going for that God Roll Austringer, yeah, it's worth hopping into Mars, killing some Hive, and so on. So for the Wave 7 Escalation Protocol, like which things should you be using? Well, the absolute top tier S tier gear is, of course, if you have the Recluse or Mountaintop, those are phenomenal, both at the same time, isn't a terrible idea. Also, if you've done any of the Crown of Sorrow raid, all of the Hive mods, like here, Hive Armaments, that's going to make heavy drop more often for killing Hive, which clearly we're doing, that is S tier as well, put those on. Moving down to the A tier, if you don't have that sort of stuff, putting on gear with Special and Heavy Ammo Finder, I would recommend, or Scavenger if you don't believe in Heavy Ammo Finder. There's some nebulous as to how much that actually affects your drop rates, but I digress. There's gonna be a lot of enemies swarming around you. I would recommend a fully auto weapon, like with a damage increasing perk like Rampage. Honestly, the Huckleberry is gonna be low-key a really good weapon to use here. And honestly, so is the Risk Runner, because so many Hive enemies shoot arc damage, you're gonna have that supercharged perk active like constantly. As is a shotgun, preferably a fast-firing shotgun with trench barrel, like the Escalation shotgun, actually, and also this a raid weapon, but you can also use just pretty much any fast-firing shotgun, with Rampage also quite good at clearing out groups of enemies. For your heavy, best case, Swarm of the Raven with spike grenades, worst case, a rocket launcher with cluster bombs. Now, for the class and subclass you're using, well, I've got recommendations for all three. If you're the Warlock, definitely Chaos Reach plus Geomegs, fantastic combination. You're going to be casting your super quite a lot, and the length at which it lasts makes it very useful against the bosses that spawn at the end of every Escalation Protocol round. But if you don't have the Geomegs, you can always use Nova Bomb, specifically Cataclysm Nova Bomb with the Skull of Dire Ahamkara. It was nerfed to the ground, but there's so many yellow bar enemies in this, you'll probably still basically get your super back almost every time you cast this. And if you don't have any of that stuff, you could always run the Well of Radiance with either Lunafaction Boots, which is very good against, again, those boss waves, or Phoenix Protocol to get your well back so often and basically have a constant well the entire time. Now, if you're a Titan, definitely Hammers, specifically the attunement that makes them explode and also gives you Melting Point, and also combine those with the Syncocepts to just massively increase damage output. You increase your super damage by 50% if you're surrounded by enemies, and trust me, you're going to be surrounded by enemies literally every waking second of this activity. Now, if you don't have that or you don't want to use that, another great combination is Sentinel Titan with the extra shield plus Doomfang Pauldrons. Those are going to, well, basically you're going to activate your super and never deactivate it the entire Escalation Protocol. Like, essentially, every time you get a kill with your shield, it gives you super energy back, and you are getting like 3 kills every time you throw your shield. It's ridiculous. And if you're playing the Hunter, absolute S tier is going to be Tether plus Orpheus Riggs. Helps everyone out. You're going to get it back like every single time because of how many enemies and the fact that they're all like technically major enemies too. So super useful there. If you don't have that or you don't want to use that or you already have some in your group, definitely switch to Arc Strider plus Radiant Flux. Your super's going to last forever and do a ton of damage. Now, moving on from there, the thing about Escalation Protocol is that the Wave 7 boss actually rotates every single week. So for this week, we're going to have a specific boss with specific mechanics. This week, it's a pretty easy one. The boss is just a big tanky boy. Like, he just has a ton of health, so you're going to want to use those high DPS weapons, Mountaintop and Swarm of the Raven. If you do have Swarm of the Ravens plus a Tractor Cannon, that's going to be very good as well. And you're just going to have to, shoot this guy quite a bit to take him down. Now, while that's all going on, the kind of special thing about this guy is that there is going to be constantly spawning Shriekers up in the sky, and they do a lot of damage. Like, you may honestly, if you're having a little bit of trouble, want to dedicate a couple of people just to dealing with those Shriekers. When you see them, kill them. You want to avoid this scenario where you use all your resources on the boss, don't kill him, and then you have nothing to deal with those Shriekers, and you're trying to primary the boss while getting decimated by them. So don't ignore them is what I'm saying. Now, one more thing to talk about, override frequencies. What the heck are those? Well, while you're doing Mars activities, you're going to be getting resonant stems. Once you get 4 of them, you can combine them in your inventory, and then you get an override frequency. Now, this is actually going to just have a bunch of text, and this text tells you where you're supposed to go. So in this example, Descent Cave Ruins. So I open my map. As you can see, there's an area, Olympus Descent. That's where I need to go. And you're going to be looking for your specific spinning Siva capsule. There's going to be a lot of them, but yours will be glowing. As you can see in the background gameplay, when you get closer, it'll have this effect, and there'll be music coming out of it. So approach it, collect loot, and then you've completed an override frequency. Now, there are guides out there. You can just Google, your specific override frequency, and it should tell you exactly where to go if you don't want to find it yourself. But that's how you do them. Alright guys, and that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed, found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at @RickKackis. That's linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.